Hello, my name is Stuart Copeland, and I'm here to tell you that Joe Biden, our candidate, had a major mental gaffe during his victory speech, and basically confused his wife. He called his wife Barack Obama, and because of that, we're going to have to step in, and we're going to replace him with the same exact guy, Howard Dean. No, that joke seemed better on paper. I was watching this YouTube channel earlier today, and this guy was in the chat, and he said that Bernie Sanders needs a mascot. Wouldn't that be great if Bernie Sanders had a mascot? I suggested one of those Muppet guys that were up in the banister or whatever for that play or whatever it was they were watching. Remember that? The Philadelphia Fanatic would be great. Could you imagine the Philadelphia Fanatic standing behind Bernie Sanders at a rally? I think that would be absolutely great. Elizabeth Warren dropped out. She endorsed Donald Trump. So many interesting things happening in this chat at the Cristo Alvarez or whatever his name is channel. A troll went in there, and a troll said, "Oh, boring nerd," because this guy was just, he's like 20, in his early 20s. It looks like maybe he's older than that, but he looks really young. From Canada, knows all of this about politics, knows so much about politics, and this troll comes in, and he's like, "You boring nerd," and then a couple minutes later, he says, "What do you say? You read all them books? Don't sound like it." He's insulting this very articulate guy who never stumbles over his words, never says like I do, and says, "Don't sound like you read all them books." He had this basically this library of books behind him. Almost all of them said Trudeau, but yeah, Chris Matthews. I don't know if you saw that. Chris Matthews was, officially they say he retired. But the theory is he was fired because of the comments about the many comments about Bernie Sanders 4 years ago, when he really wouldn't. I don't know if he was adamantly against Bernie Sanders then, definitely not the way he is now. And then he had Hillary Clinton on his show, and he was just blowing kisses at her, and he was just, that's when I stopped watching Chris Matthews. I probably should have done it well before that. But Bernie Sanders opened my eyes in so many ways when I found him back in 2011. And another thing about Chris Matthews, I saw Chris Matthews in person twice. Very strange that I would see him twice. The first one was when they had the Democratic National Convention in Denver, and I lived downtown at the time, and I would walk up and down that 16th Street Mall, and they had their show. They set up their show right near Union Station. That's all developed now. Light rail. They created a new bus / train station, but at the time that was kind of an open area right by the historic Union Station rail station, and that's where MSNBC set up their panel, their show, and Keith Olbermann was there. I think Pat Buchanan, a couple other people, and I sort of observed the show. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but there was a crowd that kind of was around them, and we observed the show. The other time, my friend Brian McKinney and we went hoping to watch the debate between Barack Obama and Mitt Romney at the University of Denver campus. And we happened to be outside. We didn't get in, but we watched it on this big projection screen outside. And then afterwards, once again, MSNBC had their set up. This time, Michael Steele, Chris Matthews, a couple others, and my friend Brian kept on getting in the shot. He kept on getting. So he took a picture of himself. You can see, if you watch that show, you would see him on MSNBC just getting, they kept changing the camera angles, but he still kept finding the right spot to where he was in the background. And then these really scary guys, about 80% of the way through the show, decided, okay, this is the time we're going to go up and we're going to try to intimidate him. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. To the really angry looking guys, big guys, they didn't come up to me because I could never find the right spot to be in the shot. He had just a talent for that, I guess, because I was trying to do it as well. And yeah, so I saw him. And actually, that second time, Chris Matthews, there was a few of us there, and he actually came back and talked to us. He was very nice, very cordial. He insulted Keith Olbermann. He said, "Oh, he knows baseball. He shouldn't be doing politics. He knows everything about baseball. This is what I do. I know this." But it was nice. But the thing about, one of the theories is that he was fired because of the attacks on Bernie Sanders, and he started losing his audience. And doesn't Chris Matthews know all these years who was watching his show? It was the Democratic voters, right? And did he think it was all neoliberals? That's like 10,000 people in Washington D.C. and New York. That's a very small portion of people. That's not who was watching his show. And I'm surprised these people held on and were watching his show as long as I'm sure some of them are Biden supporters, but a lot of them were, I'm sure, in the Bernie camp. And yeah, once you start alienating that audience, he alienated his own audience, and then it cost him his job. Well, that's all I have for you. Yeah, Joe Biden, doing his victory speech, accidentally called his wife Barack Obama. Elizabeth Warren drops out, endorses Donald Trump. And when they asked her why she endorsed Donald Trump, she said, well, David Duke wasn't on the ticket there. Yeah, you've been absolutely amazing. Thanks for watching this. Weird City Citizen, a special thanks to you. A special thanks to Angry Birds. You guys have been absolutely amazing. And this purse is for sale on our store. You can purchase this purse for $5.99. Just go to the donate button on my channel, and that can be yours for $5.99. As is this painting, beautiful painting back here. This dog cage is not for sale. Have a great one. Thanks again.